So here we are already in the second week in June, and I wanted to make a little video for you guys and encourage you to keep creating. You know, that's what we're put here to do, create. And when you create something from nothing, I think you're doing a divine work there. You know, in 1993, I created my first album, Merkin Wig. I had a lot of fun doing it. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know what a bar chord was. I had barely been anywhere immersed in putting out a CD. You know, we put out a cassette before that. That's going to date us. And then, you know, we had some great momentum from that album. We ended up touring for almost 4 years off of it and developing a nice college following. Then I came out with another album called Trademark. You know, we created such a buzz on the college circuit that Warner Brothers didn't want us to use our name because we were starting to do a lot of interstate commerce. And so that had to roll up my sleeves and tussle with that, you know. And we weathered that storm and really came out with a great album called Eden in 2000. And, you know, there we were way ahead of our time with so much stuff, specifically animation and doing the cow song which went viral before you could get paid for it. And we really upped our presence. But then I also discovered, you know, I was the most driven guy in the band, and I was only going to go so far. There was a glass ceiling there with that, you know, that creation. So I moved on with the courage to go solo, and to do that, I had to wake up, and I did that in 2004, and that created a whole new set of opportunities. You know, where I really got to explore who I was as an individual writer, and it was a very different style for me, you know. And subsequently, then I came out with another album called Mind on Fire during the digital revolution because, you know, now I was starting to see that CDs were disappearing. So I decided, okay, well, let me have a go at this. I'll try doing an all digital release because downloads were becoming big and, you know, file sharing and all that stuff. And I knew that it was just another way of doing that. And then I came out with a music video in 2012, and then right after that happened, a major stumbling block hit me in my life, and I had to come back again. And I remember talking to Mike McClure from The Great Divide, great musician up in Oklahoma. He was at my home, and he said, "Eric, the hardest thing is when you stop to go back and start touring again." I said, "Well, then the uncomfortable circumstances is where you find your gold. That's what I'm going to do. That's where I'm going to go." So some very good friends of mine did the yeah, but, and come on, man, you're too old to be a rock star stuff and all that and everything. And I just kept going. And then that became the next thing. And now here I find myself doing it again. I've got another album coming out with some great people that I recorded with in Los Angeles and some here. And, you know, Dallas, Texas, Hollywood, will do it again. So I encourage you, just keep going. What else is there to do but to keep going and keep creating, because that's what we're put here to do. And it could be anything, you know, that you like to do. If you're an architect, or if you like to create art, if you like to create food, you know, I love to do that. I don't see any separation between art and food, and creating a business is a wonderful thing too, you know, especially if you create one that really helps people and changes the world. And there's so many great examples of that. So I'm just encouraging you to do it, and make sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening in the next couple of weeks in that direction. We're going to make some major moves, and I'm going to be releasing a lot of the new music that I recorded. I'm going to be playing live quite a bit with some very exciting people, because that's the other thing that's great, is the camaraderie, okay? So I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. And also stop on my website. You can sign up for my email list there.